You are watching What's Now, and we are going to talk more about your health and wellness. Specifically, though, right now, plasma. What do you need to know about plasma donations? How can it help with outcomes and more? Let's take a look.
The first week of October marks the 10th annual International Plasma Awareness Week. Although many have heard of plasma donation, many remain unsure of what it is or why it's needed. It's essential for treating more than 300 life threatening diseases, but the charitable act can only be sourced through human donation. As a result of the pandemic, the industry has experienced a shortage, leaving thousands of patients with a cause for concern. To explain more about the impact of plasma, we have hematologist oncologist Dr. Claudio Sandoval, Director of Scientific and Medical Affairs at Octa Pharma, and Shannon Bauer, a patient with primary immune deficiency and an Octa Pharma patient educator, joining us from Octa Pharma Plasma headquarters in Charlotte, North Carolina. We're so grateful that they are both with us today. Dr. Sandoval, let's start with you. Can you explain what plasma is and the difference between blood and how it's used to save lives?
Sure. Plasma is a component of whole blood. And within plasma, we have all the life-saving proteins that help us fight infections, keep us from bleeding, provide emergency therapies for folks who have autoimmune diseases like myasthenia gravis. So this is truly a life-saving medication. And plasma can only come from humans. So humans are actually making a human medication to save a life. And as you mentioned, 300 different types of primary immune deficiency, many types of bleeding disorders. So you may even actually know someone who has a primary immune deficiency. But because they're receiving a plasma medication like immunoglobulin, they are doing well. So I can't just stress how important it is to know that these plasma donations are really resulting in a life-saving medication.
Shannon, you were diagnosed in 2014 with primary immune deficiency. How did that diagnosis change your life, and what were the treatments like?
So when I was diagnosed later in life. But prior to that, part of my diagnosis, I was getting sick all the time. I had sinus infections, or I had pneumonia, or I had bronchitis. And we're talking every 3 to 4 months, I was on some form of antibiotic. As I got older, I was on antibiotics 2 and 3 courses to get rid of things. So 2 things occurred when I finally found out what was going on with my body. The number one was mentally, it was a wonderful relief to know that there was a reason why I was getting sick all the time. And secondarily, the therapies actually helped me be able to go to parties, be able to worry less, because I knew that I was going to get my therapy and that was going to help my immune system be strong enough to fight off some of the bugs that are in the air.
Dr. Sandoval, how has the pandemic impacted donation rates?
So, unfortunately, during the coronavirus pandemic, we had about a 30 to 40% drop in donations, both of blood and of plasma. And since it takes about 6 to 12 months to realize that plasma donation into a human medication, you start getting the impact about now. And again, we're talking about life-saving medications, not only here in the United States, but in Canada, in Central and South America, in Europe, really around the world. So we hope that International Plasma Awareness Week will inspire folks to get out there and donate their plasma. These donors need to understand that they are making life-saving medications. And again, they may actually know someone with a primary immune deficiency, or with a bleeding disorder, or with some other condition that they may just not be aware that this person has that condition, because they view this person as being healthy. He looks great, she looks great. They look great because of you, because you're donating your plasma, which is being made into a human medication to save a human life.
And Shannon, you're proof of the importance of plasma donation. What's the process like for someone who wants to donate plasma?
The best thing to do is to go on the internet and go to octapharmaplasma.com and find out where the local donation center is. And then you can go down to the center, and the first time you donate takes about 2 hours. They're going to ask you some questions, do a health screening. You'll actually see a registered nurse that she'll talk to you about your life and your health and things of that nature. And then once you've gone through that process, you'll then go and actually be a donor, and they will do the actual plasmapheresis to go ahead and take the plasma from your body and stick your blood back into it. And then what happens is that it goes into a lab they have basically, and then they process it and they send it to Charlotte here to get samples processed, and then it takes about 12 months for it to actually come to fruition to be on my table so I can infuse. And I used to think fairies did this. I have my medication, this is a great thing. Didn't have any idea. And then I was fortunate enough to spend some time in one of our donation centers, and I actually got to put a face and smiles to these people that are changing my life, to thank them directly for donating something that we can't get in any other way, that helps me and thousands of other people in our nation and across the world stay healthy. I'm grateful, and I have to tell you, I was extremely humbled. These people do a commitment, and that commitment changes my life. So to all of you who do donate and who are going to donate, please, I want you to know, thank you.
Yeah, and I just want to echo Shannon's sentiment. You know, as a treating oncologist, I want to thank you all for saving the lives of my patients. It's really, truly appreciated.
And where's the best to get more information about plasma donation and all of these other issues that you talked about how much plasma can save lives?
So the best thing to do is to go to octapharmaplasma.com and, tool around the website a little bit. It's going to have some information on how you can donate, on the types of diagnosis that you're going to see, that what your donation is going to help. And that really is the best place to start. And then I would encourage you to take that next step and go down and go to a plasma donation center and talk to somebody there and make a donation. It's life-changing, folks. And the more we can encourage you to go, that's why we have International Plasma Awareness Week. This year it's the first week in October, the 3rd through the 7th. And those of us who use the products that we can only get and derive from plasma donations from people, I can tell you all of us are grateful.
Well, thank you so much, Shannon, for sharing your personal experience and the importance of plasma donation with us. Really appreciate your vulnerability, and really helps to put more into the effort to be able to donate plasma. And thank you, Dr. Sandoval, for sharing all this important information with us today. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you very much for having us.
We appreciate you. Have a great day.